Hello to all my friends out there. Well, it's getting festive at my house. I hope it's getting festive at your house. The babies have been practicing and they want to say hi. Babies, can you say hi to the YouTube family, please? We've been practicing this. Okay, so today I was scurrying about doing stuff, getting ready for the holiday. I bought this cute thing at the thrift store and I'm really glad I did. A few months ago I bought this mohair sweater and I knew Christmas was coming in a few months. And when I was a kid, one of my best ever Christmases, I got a mohair sweater. It was nothing like this sweater because this sweater was made in China. My mohair sweater was pink. I thought that was the greatest Christmas ever. And one time I got a star sapphire ring. That was another high point. Jasmine tea. I bought myself this cute bracelet. See how it's like a little ribbon. And then I bought these. I've been looking for something like this. These are feathers. So I will wear these for months. Okay, the first part of this video is barbecue chicken dinner. The second part is Egyptian stockpiling versus Pioneers. And the third part is 2023, the year of desperation. That does not sound good. That's what we want to avoid at all costs. I've been through a few bad recessions, so I kind of have some input on this and some skills to avoid it. So I made some tasty barbecue chicken. I think barbecue chicken was one of the first videos I ever did on YouTube because I thought my barbecue chicken was so delicious. All I did was I put garlic, salt, and pepper, and then I dusted the chicken with flour, and I had half olive oil. And today I made this homemade butter. This one turned out really good. So it was half olive oil, half homemade butter. And then I just roasted it at 350, and when it was nearly done, I just put barbecue sauce on each side. And then I made a tasty batch of potato salad. And what is good about this potato salad is I used my homemade pickles. Yes, there's a method to the madness. I used to have these friends, and they always used to say, "What are you up to?" What do you mean, what am I up to? I just might need some. So I made these pickles, and I used them in my homemade potato salad. That is what I was up to. All right, so let's have a little bit. So one way we could conserve our funds is just have simple meals. This is tasty. Now for a festive cake. What are you up to? A festive cake? Here is the festive cake. And this is a pretty festive looking cake, you must admit. This festive cake costs 50 cents. What I did was I bought a devil's food cake mix at Walmart for $1, and I used half of it. And so I bought this pan the other day, and I go, wow, this is a great pan, oven safe. Well, it turns out you can buy 3 of these for $15 at Walmart. So when I made the other day, I made the Jiffy cake, and I thought, wow, this turned out so good. Well, the instructions say beat 3 to 4 minutes. So I beat this cake 4 minutes, and it's very fluffy. The other thing is to make sure you don't overbake your cake. So I want to cut my festive cake in half so I can put some you know, when I was young and I would have to bring stuff I was up to making strawberry jam. That's what I was up to. So I want to put my strawberry jam in between here. Let's see if I got a good seal. This is so easy. If you didn't see the video, go to my Instagram. I try to be really careful not to nick the, you can reuse these if you don't damage them. So, okay, so let's put some of my homemade strawberry jam. This would make a great gift. Strawberry and chocolate is tasty. I'm going to be buying 1 box of berries every day. I got a box of berries at when I went to the church. And I thought, wow, you know, this is really nice. So I use about half of one of these pints. Let me show you. Here it is. I'm like a food stylist now. I'm retired from hairdressing. This is so much more fun, to tell you the truth. Okay, so now I have some frosting that I bought. It's got chocolate sprinkles on it, but I have something really good that I bought I had this in the freezer, so I just unfroze it, you know, to put it on my cake. Now I think all my life I survived on 2 steak knives. And a while back, I actually bought sets of knives, several. And if I find them cheap again, I'll buy several more. Because what I'll do is I will go through the sets of knives that I buy, and I will keep all of the best ones. The knife thing is like an illness. Well, the kitchen equipment. So, what I want to do is I want to rearrange my pantry so I can put baker's racks in there so I can keep all of my kitchen stuff in there, because I don't really want to get rid of it, because it really makes cooking so much easier, you know, if you have the proper knives, you know, to spread your frosting. I mean, you can survive. It's like you can buy a cheap car and you can get there, but if you can afford a good one, it's nice. Okay, so this is looking pretty festive. So what I did is I went to Trader Joe's and they were passing out samples, and these are almond butter almonds. I go, oh, these are so delicious. That's why there's very few left. So I will use my artistic license. Mainly I want to distribute my almonds so that every piece of cake has a bite. These are delicious. You know, you have to be careful, because now a lot of times the discount shops are you might as well go to Trader Joe's. Today I bought this whipping cream, and it's good until $2.20, so it's good for 2 months. So, and it's basically the same price. So now that is festive. All you have to do is make some jam. Okay, so here is the festive cake. This smells good, I have to say. Okay, that's the festive cake. It really is festive. Okay, so I was examining the Egyptians, and to make their way to the afterlife, they took duck, which is a high-fat meat, because you have to have some meat, fat, bread, cake, So I'm not leaving the cake, forget it. Cake and the bread and the meat works really good. I think it's so much easier to stockpile just like 4 items than they had wine. One of the reasons they used to drink wine is if the water wasn't drinkable. But I switched it to meat, bread and soup, cake and juice. Okay, and then the Pioneers went across, they were going on a journey across the country. They had bacon, 100 pounds. So figure if you need 10 pounds of meat for a month, it'd be about 100 pounds for a year. Bread, and then I go, wow, what about cake? You know, it doesn't mention it in the stockpile. And so I looked up some kind of molasses cake, and you know, my family was the Pioneers. I go, I don't remember that. And the thought popped into my head, how about applesauce cake? And I thought, oh, the ancestors are speaking to me. Dried raisins or peaches. So I went and I got my 100-year-old cookbook. Guess what I found? Applesauce cake. I guarantee you this is very similar, this one right here, to the way my grandmother used to make it. And if you make yourself some applesauce, that apple crisp was good. I ate the whole thing, one the night before and one for breakfast. Let's see, 1 cup. Now this is going to make a huge cake. 1 cup water, 1/2 cup shortening, 1 3 cups flour, 1 cup warm applesauce, 1 teaspoon soda, 1/2 teaspoon orange extract, 1/2 teaspoon cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon nutmeg extract, and 1 cup raisins. This is a lot like the apple bread. The apple bread, this doesn't take an egg either. What's good about these is you don't, if you know we get some egg shortage, these are really moist cakes. So I bought this. I mentioned to you guys I went to a rummage sale. Now when I went to the rummage sale, that's the guy that told me about the food thing at the church. And so I used up some of my oil, and I got this oil when I went to the food church. And he told me right now they have plenty of food. Okay, this is the milk that resulted when I made the butter. I just put the heavy cream in one of these things and I beat it until it separated. And then I just strained it with my little screen. I need new screens. My screens are getting messed up. And then I was able to just form a little ball. What I think I'm going to do is make the butter and freeze the butter as opposed to the heavy cream. So now if we have to eat potatoes, rice, and beans, if we go to the Mexican garden, it's tomatoes, onions, peppers, and squash. I didn't write squash. It's very important. I still have 2 zucchinis in there. So, the Mexican garden, and here is my squash seeds. Oh no, this is my green pepper seeds, and I'm going to be trying to grow those. I think my mint plant, I don't know if it's going to survive my farming skills. I think it froze, I'm not sure. I don't know if I can save it. It might die. Okay, I found 2 $1 lunches. One was the $4 Walmart pizza, and the other one, and this was pretty good, these biscuits. I bought these at Grocery Outlet. And then let me give you this. I know you've seen it before, but if you're new to stockpiling, the best way is just to pick up 1 or 2 items per week or every 2 weeks whenever you shop. I would concentrate on meat and grains, like good macaroni, like bread grains, like that. Okay, I finished up most of my Christmas shopping, and I wanted to mention I bought a lot of nice gifts. Okay, I needed these so bad to clean my shirts, but if you've ever used them, they leave a smell that I don't like. So I realized if I'm airing 2 things on my banister, and within a day or 2, the smell will go out if you air it out. And also I bought a couple of nice stuffed toys, but since they looked brand new, I dry cleaned them. And then, like when I did the leather coats, I just wiped the leather and wiped the animals off in case there's any dry cleaning residue. And then I started doing something really cheap. I saved my leftover strips in the bag, and then I just add more strips the next time in case there's some left in them. My decorations are bogged down, but you know, I'm working on it, and I will have it done by Christmas. Okay, so I wanted to mention to you guys, the beanie is coming along. So here it is. You know, it'll just go up to a little point. So what you do, this stuff buckled, so I didn't attach it yet in the back. It was 6 rows of double crochet. So they said a baby's head was about 15 inches. So I just chained 15 inches and then 6 rows of double crochet. Then I started in with single crochet, and I just reduced 1. And when I get up here, I will make a pom-pom. And I got this yarn at Dollar Tree for $1.25, and I think I have enough for a nice little scarf to go with it. Okay, and I wanted to mention this. Some years I make these. I made this last year. It's cotton yarn, and you just crochet 30 across, and then you just crochet until you have a square, and these are nice gifts. And then I had one more thing, and it's this. You'll be able to do this if you know how to crochet. So there is 1, 2, 3. So see how that's just a little square? 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you have this one is here. What she's done is she's turned the 3, so it's like a little bit, you know, I don't know if she did that on purpose, but it's cute. I assume it was a she. But what you got to know about this is this. She has put in the middle of this one that's going to be where the foot is, she has made like a double center here. She just went in, you know, and she, if you know how to make these, she has 2 here, 2 here, and she has those, and then there's 2 back here, and then this one is a half, and then she's got 2 halves and 1. So she's just used her creative license to make a cute little sock. I bought this, and you know, I kept it for the pattern. Let me give you one more shot of it going this way. So here's the first 3 rows, and those are 3. And then when you go down here, you've got the 1 double, and she's got 1, and she's got 2 back here, and 1 double, 1 here. And then on here, she's got, this is kind of crazy, she's got, she's just used her, she's got a half of 1 here. Well, let me just show you. You can probably figure it out for yourselves. So it's really cute. It's old-fashioned. So that's some crafts. Okay, in Northern California, Eureka, a 6.4 magnitude earthquake at 2:34 a.m., tens and thousands without electricity. And 2 died because they were elderly and they couldn't get emergency medical. So that needs to be remembered, that you need to take the person in your car and make haste if they could. So what I'm doing is I'm setting up an area that's a very small area to go into if the power goes out, if it gets cold, and I have a very heavy duty sleeping bag. And the babies are going with me. Okay, they're saying 2023 is 2023, the year of desperation. I believe it. So what we want to do is stockpile food. Hopefully we already have, but here is what I expect to see. Grab and snatch. People just like grab and snatch everything. Like they were saying that the week before I went to the church pantry that they actually stampeded. And, you know, taking cuts and grabbing, you know, everything they can grab. So I'm expecting grabbing and snatching. Your work, taking your job, grabbing your job. Your apartment. Oh, that's happened to me. Grabbing your husband. Some younger, more attractive, conniving woman. That'd be bad, huh? Okay, pushing and shoving, taking cuts in no manner. So what I started doing, you guys, tone it down. I started moving in and around a better area to avoid this stuff. Begging, asking for loans. One time I was working in this shop and the lady asked her son for some money and he said, "No, what do you think I am, the Bank of America?" That's the kind of person you don't want to work for. You know what happened to me? I thought, oh God, here we go. The thing about asking for loans is, you know, especially if it's a family member, I'd say just don't expect to get the money back. If you're falling behind and you can't pay your bills, loans usually don't help. Working in groups to destabilize businesses. Okay, I saw this in you would work very hard to establish this business, and then like say 3 or 4 shops would run into the area and each would be very happy with a small bite, but when they each took a bite, that only left you with a little bite, and in their minds they didn't see anything wrong with this. That's like grabbing and snatching. Shoplifting, yes. It's been pretty bad out here. Immigration surges. So not just from borders, but also here we have a surge of people coming from cold areas like snowbirds, but we also have people living in cars. And I heard this one woman, and what happened to her was the same thing that happened to me. They 30-dayed her, and now they want verification of $3,000 a month. She couldn't rent again, and she ended up in her car. Another one was an older woman, and you know, she just couldn't rent either, and she ended up in her car, and they both came to California, which is good because it's darn cold. Taking advantage. Okay, when I was a hairstylist, they would say, "Can you cut, color, and highlight my hair? I'll give you $100. And I said, no. And they said, why not? And I said, because that's not fair to my customers that pay me full price. She goes, my hairdresser does it all the time. And I go, well, I can't do that to my customers. My customers take care of me so I can support myself. But that's taking advantage. Preferred treatment. Otherwise, some people are going to get treated better than others, like people in better areas. I went to this store and I said, this store used to be so awful, and then it got better, and now it's awful again. What happened? And the girl goes, well, it's the customers. I go, yeah, right. And she goes, the kids run all over and play with the toys, And so I thought it looks like to me cash on delivery. So a long time ago during these recessions, in my husband's job as a lithographer, they couldn't do the work without the paper. They didn't pay for their paper, and they couldn't get their paper until it was COD. And I thought, yeah, you look like COD. Cash on delivery, not to be COPD, no, cash on delivery. Gambling, yes, people, when times are tough, people will make it worse by gambling. I used to do the women who worked at the casinos, and they used to tell me everything. So defaults and foreclosures. People they're not going to say, guess what? I defaulted. I don't have my new car. I don't, okay, let's see. Oh, sabotaging of businesses. Okay, I had this one, like one guy, he wanted to pull his clients out of the shop. And he had his wife standing in the shop all day long trying to grab the customers, but that wasn't working, so he put cooking oil in front of the front door like I'm going to slip and break my neck. That was rude. Okay, now I was buying some perfume yesterday, and the lady said, and so I saw her in there, and I thought, if she has what I need, I'm going to buy it from her. And I mentioned to you, she said it was $20 off, but I think it was the same price, but that's okay. She goes, last year we had various programs and money so we could survive, but this year is really tough. And I thought, yeah, how many people it's called, what is this called? The Year of Desperation. We don't want to get to that point. Okay, now we're supposed to have inflation checks coming, but my last name starts with an S, so God knows when I'm getting it. So if you are lucky enough to get one of these inflation checks, I would not suggest spending it, because I think that it's possible that the peacekeeping operation might escalate. It's possible that the inflation might continue. Right now, gas is really down. I can't believe it. I bought jewelry in bulk, and I bought this festive little bracelet. I sell these for $1 when I need the money, or when the stuff gets on my nerves. So we don't want to become desperate. All of the people that I knew that, and nothing was worse than being in a beauty shop with desperate hairdressers. It was like they were watching that front door to pounce on the client. It was nothing but a misery. If I found myself in some situation like that these days, I would move sooner than later. So what you don't want to do is be surrounding yourself by this, because it's going to affect you. Don't think it's not. Both of the times that one time I was 30 days, and the other time it was 60 days, was right before Christmas. Yes. Anyway, so that's to be expected. And I was telling a guy in 7-Eleven, the older you get, the more you realize that you don't want to deserve the bad karma, because you will get it. So you want to watch yourself daily and try to stay on the right side of things, because you will pay, and it's never worth it. But on the other hand, we do want to protect ourselves. So, and another thing is, everybody I've ever known who's in desperate straits, let's see, vacations for a month, gambling, Smarty, the customers would come in, how did you enjoy your dinner last night? And I'm going, oh boy. Come Monday morning, because they're lazy on the weekends, I am going to go through hell. Trips to Mexico. I could go on and on and on. And here I am, Miss Thrifty, because I don't like to suffer. And I bought a lot of nice gifts, and quite a few of them came from the thrift store too. So if you think about the stuff people get, I mean, rarely do we give people things that, you know, they desperately need. Like, do you really desperately need a mohair sweater? Yes. But you know what I'm saying. Okay, you guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. And happy holidays, and God bless you all.